All right. Hey, welcome back, you guys. It is beautiful in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yes.
This is fake spring, so don't get too excited because the cold will come back. It is just like fake
We just
fall.
passed Groundhog Day, and who knows what the research would show. But regardless, I'm not getting my hopes up. Right.
Right. But what we have experienced literally just in this last week is that buyers and sellers are coming out of the woodworks. And if you are thinking you might want to sell your home this year, we have written down some tips that we want to talk through
Yeah.
so that we can make that the best experience for you guys.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And we get these questions all the time. Hey, will you come out and look at my house and
Yes.
help us get ready to sell? And I think it's important to talk about this because just 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we experienced this, right?
Yes,
You
yes.
you could put your house on the market. It didn't have to be cleaned.
Right.
It did not need to be fresh painted. The grass could have been really, really high, and you could have had some significant repairs needed, and most likely your house would sell, and it would sell for top dollar.
Right, right.
And so that went on for a period of a couple of 2 or 3 years.
Right.
Well, the market has shifted.
Yeah.
And so our sellers now, what we want to help our sellers understand is that is just not the same way anymore.
Right.
It's still not hard to sell a house. I mean, here in Central Alabama, currently, in Jefferson County, where we are, there is an average days on market of 48 days. That's still not that long. But our sellers that are winning are the sellers who have gone the extra mile
Right, right.
in order to get their home ready. And so that's why we want to talk about it. I think it does make a difference.
Well, and two, and I get it. It's probably generally a female thing. Your house is personal. It is your home. It is the things that you've put in there. You've made it special. You've got memories there,
Yep.
and that's all wonderful. But remember that the house is without you in it. It's just a structure.
Yep.
So, as you're preparing, just mentally preparing that what you want for your home is for the buyer to be able to see themselves living there, as opposed to coming in and they can't even see themselves there because there's so much stuff that's yours there.
That's right. Absolutely.
And another thing to remember, it's not forever. So you don't live in a house the way that you sell it, and you
Right.
don't sell a house the way that you live in it.
Right.
So for a short period of time, it does have to be neater. It does have to be put together a little bit more. But just remember, like, once you get past the showings and that kind of stuff, then you can kind of go back to living kind of normal.
Well, and think about it this way. If you're going to sell your house, you're going to be moving.
Right.
Go ahead and pack.
Right.
Just
Right.
get a jump start on the packing because, at least for us, it will sell.
Yes.
And so go ahead and start packing. In general, when it comes to packing, I think about those big black crates with the yellow lids that you see in a lot of stores, or whether it's just boxes. You can use your garage as a place to store those things, but we really recommend invest in a storage unit somewhere, heating and cooled.
Yes.
And the reason for that, again, is so that as people are looking at your home, as you said, number one, they can see themselves because there's less of you in there.
Right.
If you leave all of you in there, then your buyer pool has now shrunken.
Right. Right.
To you're only looking for buyers that are exactly like you, your tastes, etc.
Yes.
So that's why we want to remove as much of you in the house as possible so that we expand those pool of buyers
Right.
that might potentially like your home.
Right. So when you're thinking about getting ready to sell, 3 words to keep in mind. It is clean, bright, and open.
That's right.
Clean, bright, and open. So what do we mean by cleaning? Like, for real, we mean cleaning. Like, hire a professional to
Yeah.
come in and do it. We're talking about windows inside and out. We're talking about pressure washing the driveways, the sidewalks. If you've got siding that has gotten the brown mold and moss and all that kind of stuff on it, have it pressure washed off.
I'm thinking about recent houses that we have listed or in the process of listing. Showers. Oh my gosh. This is why you
Yeah.
want to hire a professional
Yes.
cleaner. Your goal is not to hire your cousin who is in college and needs to make a little extra money, but truly hire a professional cleaner because when it comes to making a potential buyer feel like this could be their home, one of the big things to avoid is seeing grime in the cracks at the bottom of the shower.
Yes, yes. And just like dusting, which sounds kind of like no brainer, but literally we were in a home and you could see the dust like literally on the walls. So just like take a hard look through your home and just realize like there's things that we will kind of live in, but a buyer is going to be super picky and just get into the buyer mentality. When they walk into a home and they see it dirty or unkept, their mentality, whether it's right or wrong, their mentality is if they didn't take care of the dust or the windows or whatever, they didn't take care of any of the house, which may not be true, but that's the way the buyers think.
Well, and again, to your point, you're actually reading my mind. I was thinking the same thing. The opposite is true too. When we're showing a house to buyers and you walk into the master closet and all of the pants are neatly hung
yes.
according to color,
Right.
and all of the shirts are neatly hung and there's a little bit of space, that closet might have looked like a train wreck a week before the showing,
Right.
but for the showing, what it does is it gives the buyer confidence
Yes.
that the seller, I should say, cares about the home. That means that the seller, what they're assuming is that you have maintained any leaks, that you've maintained
Yes.
regular maintenance. You have, changed your air conditioning filter out, etc. So you're right. Closets are a big thing.
Well, and pantries too.
Same.
Like we would love to think that people are not going to look at those things, but they are going to look at those things. They're going to go through every drawer. They're going to go through all the closets. Well, because again, put yourself back into the buyer's perspective. Like will their clothes fit in there? Will their children's stuff fit in the closet? Do they have massive bulk orders that will fit in the pantry? So having those things neatened and cleaned out and cleared out, it just makes the buyer more confident in the home.
Well, and so again, clean, bright, and open, right? We've talked about cleaning, and kind of a segue there is whether you realize it or not, if you are living in a home, whenever you use the door that goes in and out of the house, if you have a garage or if you have a stairwell, certainly if you have kids, but to be honest, in homes that don't have kids, I see this a lot too, you will have greasy handprints in those areas, and it looks really, like, it's very, very noticeable.
Right.
And so to clean the walls, yes, is almost a necessity.
Yes.
To clean the doors in and out of the garage.
Again, put yourself in your buyer's thought process. And so what that means is have a neutral background. I love color. There's lots of people who love color on their walls, but if you have a particular, as you said earlier, if you have a particular taste, if you leave the colors on your walls, those colors, you are limiting your buyer pool to the people who like the same colors as you do, which may be big, but it may also be really small. So to go in and paint a neutral color throughout the entire house, it just creates a blank canvas for the buyer to come in and be able to see their furniture there, their paintings there, their, furniture and all that kind of stuff in that particular area.
Absolutely. And even like with the amount of natural light that you can get in potentially, we even go so far as to think, hey, just open the curtains or open the blinds or raise the blinds, even to a point of removing the curtains from time to time, because if you've got a buyer coming in at late in the afternoon, just before dusk, but they just got off work, they're come to look at your home. If they walk into your home and it's really dark, if you don't have a lot of lights on, that doesn't present your home in as good a light as it could be. No pun intended. So let in as much light as possible.
Yes, natural light is a big deal. And another one is light bulbs.
Oh, yeah.
If you have a fixture, put light bulbs in that fixture, which sounds kind of like a no-brainer, but sometimes it's not. So you want to have light bulbs in there. And then another huge thing is to make sure all the colors of the light match. Yeah. It catches your eye I mean, like if you walk into a house, it catches your eye immediately if there's kind of a yellowy, soft light, and then you have a bright white light.
It just depends on the home and the style. I mean, sometimes for a home, you're going to want a brighter white, almost a blue white. And in some homes, depending on the overall choice, you do want a little bit more softer, creamier, cozy look. But whatever look you choose,
Just pick
make
one.
it consistent.
Just pick one.
It is amazing. You can walk into a large room with recessed lighting, and in a half a second, you can say it's all nice, but that's a yellow corner over
Right.
there, right? It just feels weird.
Exactly. So anyway, just make a conscious effort to start swapping them out if you have different colored lights. Just as you're getting ready to sell, it just is more pleasing to the eye for everyone.
Yep.
And then it goes to our last thing, which is clean. We talked about
Clean, bright,
clean,
and open.
bright, and open. Well, open. You may be like, well, I don't have an open concept house. And that's not really what we're talking about. We're talking about opening up the space so that people can see what the actual space is, meaning take all the things off of your kitchen countertops. But go back and remember, we don't live how we sell. So you're clearing those things off so that they can actually see what the countertops look like and they can see what the backsplash looks like. So definitely countertops in the kitchen. The top, if you have tops on your cabinets, declutter, take every single thing off of that. Your bathroom countertops, clear them out.
Even your nightstands.
Yes.
I mean, our rule of thumb generally is, have one piece. Shelves, declutter shelves. People don't think about that as well. Walk spaces. We've got a current seller who had a eat-in kitchen. They actually got a smaller table, something smaller than they would want, but they did that because it made their kitchen look open.
Right.
The larger table would make a potential buyer have to turn sideways to get to the back patio, and so we wanted to not have that happen.
Right. And so again, it's taking the things that are yours, and you're going to be packing anyway because you're moving. So go ahead and box them up and put them in a storage unit. That way your buyer can see, will their furniture fit in that room? Is their nightstand the same size as yours? Will their stuff fit on the kitchen countertop? And so again, just putting yourself in your buyer's headspace, that will help you look at your home from a neutral perspective instead of kind of an emotional perspective.
All right, so I hope this has been helpful. I mean, certainly I would look at this as like a 30,000-foot view of our approach to getting your home presented. And you know what? We really focus on the interior. I think we probably need to do an entirely different video on the exterior because it's just several more minutes of important tips. And then also on, making your style, your decorations match with the price point, the style of home, etc. And so we will talk about those in future videos. All of that to say, our goal was to give you some general principles today, but just realize when we work with our sellers, we don't just prescribe this general prescription for getting your home ready. We literally sit down and do a custom design. It is not quick and it's not easy, but it is a custom design, room by room, and even furniture piece by furniture piece, setting by setting, in order to maximize your return when you sell that home. And so for all of the work you talked about, it's a work, and it is a lot of work. But doing this right could be the difference in getting a contract in 14 days or 3 months. Like doing this right could be getting a contract closer to list price or significantly under. Doing this right could mean the difference in some cases of $20, $30, $40, $60, $80,000 based on how buyers feel when they see your home. So we love sitting down and doing a consultation with our sellers.
Yeah. So if this was helpful to you guys, we would love for you to like and subscribe for more videos. If you have any questions about listing your home, of course, we are happy to help. We are Mike and Brandy Brown with Keller Williams in Birmingham, Alabama. You can reach out via phone 205-368-5995 or email at info@mbrownrealty.com.